blessings. They keep up the lessons. This is your brother Taalib from the Brother Taalib Show. I'm come with a second part to the video that I did previously, and it's dealing with the same issue about slavery, and then this woman who gets on the show and sits there and being interviewed about what her position is about slavery and who was the real culprits and all forth. But anyway, just listen in, get ready for it. Let's get in it. Are you ready? Let's get it. Yeah, peace and blessings. Keep up the lessons. This is part 2 of the video that I, put out already, or should have been put out, which is the ideological attack. Pretty much, I'm going to give of course, the title is going to be exactly to what it's going to be based on, and it's ideological attack from the Western media. This guy who's up there, as you see, Newsmax. Okay, I got to make sure that's clear. I don't remember his name. I didn't get his name if he mentioned his name. But you can look him up and you can check just like I did myself. Do your own due diligence. You can even watch the video, pull it up and Google it, if you really want to watch it. I can put it in the description, so I'll try to put the link in the description. If I'm able to, then you should be able to get it there in my description. Okay? So basically, I wanted to just expound a little bit more and clarify what I was saying. And forgive me for my, being a little bit emotional, but it is an emotional thing to me because this is who I am. This is where I come from. I found my DNA, and my DNA, most of it is from Africa. Okay? And these are my people. Just like anybody else, any other race on this planet. Why do Palestinians sit there and cry and they push their flags up? Why is patriotism even what it is? Because if it's a people, they're loving who they are. Now, patriotism could be extreme. We know this. We learn this from Islam. Any nationalism is an extreme feeling of emotion and love for who you are as a nationality that you come from, which we're not supposed to do because it clouds the mind, it clouds the people away from humanity. It gets them caught up into their nation or their people or their race is better than everybody else too. The shaitan does this. He makes you do this because this is what he did from the beginning with Adam. And it's in Islam we learn this. That he was the first nationalist, he was the first racist against another race, mankind. Shaitan or Iblis or Lucifer, devil, Satan, he was a different race. Yeah. You understand? And I said I'm going to do it. I'm got to do it soon. I'm going to get and try to do a series about racism. From how it came to be, not just from the Europeans, because the Europeans just pushed it out and promoted it and like really put it out there more than any other race in our times, especially with slavery. This is the point we're on. This is what we're on. But the thing about it is how these people bring the ideological attack or counterattack against the people who are trying to promote atonement and making these people be held accountable for their actions, even if they are children of those people who did these acts, but that the children are going to go and redeem it. Because if you have an ancestor that did it wrong and evil, and that same type of act also goes into harming the people into the times that you're alive, then you have to do right by it. You have to change it. That's just simple. You have to make it right. You have to admit to you're wrong. You have to admit to what they did and make a change. And then we can move on as a human being, as a human race. We got to get past this. But we're not going to get past this if we keep denying and being in denial and making excuses and trying to make facades and cover over it with switching and flipping the script. This is the point. That's where I'm coming from. And the brother, shout out to him again, Black to Africa, Go Black to Africa. He was putting that out. We got to wake up, people. Us people, we got to wake up. We got to really, we too messed up. We're messed up with them loving them so much that we deal with that 12-day mourning. We're going to push back our time and our progression in our countries that we need, or what we got to do and the things we're going to do to mourn for somebody that didn't care nothing about us. Really? And still there people don't. Look at what he did. He makes a speech. The speech don't matter nothing. It's all talk, no action. The actions was a guy who's in a line on the parade when the people are there and they're mourning and they also parading out there for the inauguration of you becoming the king and whatever like this, King Charles, and you pass by and don't shake that man's hand because he was black. But then we don't know the intentions, and only Allah knows what's in the heart. But the patterns show you how a people is or what a person does. And what type of person they are because of their patterns of their actions, the way they maneuver and how they act. Look at what they did to Meghan, whatever. They're supposed to be their Charles is supposed to be his daughter-in-law. Made a big issues with the family situation. Okay, over kind of in the sense of they almost like disowned their son, King Charles. And then his brothers too, their family. Tried to put Meghan and can't remember the son's name. Prince something, right? Or Harold, I think it is. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's proof. He married a partially black woman. She has a black parent. She's mixed, but she has a black parent. And then so the children have blackness in them. Is this not racism? Is this not a pattern? And we see the pattern in Europe. We see the pattern of racism in Europe. The racist fever that's grown with the nationalistic groups. And then we go to Ukraine and we have all the sympathism for them. And Africans right in Ukraine was stuck and couldn't even go back home, couldn't even leave. But the Ukrainians, because they're white by the nationality of what they're descending from, Europeans. They're Eastern Europeans, but they're Europeans. They're white. And you look at their skin, they're pale as can be. But the black, dark-skinned people, they're second-class citizens. Some of them was not citizens, of course. Yeah, we understand. But did not get their rights upheld as a human being. And that's the point of this issue. This is what we're trying to get. Human rights back. Reparations is part of that human rights. Everybody has a right to their wealth that they have from their land and that was stripped away from them. And they were removed from that land. And they was forced to work for others to enriching them in wealth. So is this correct or wrong? Is this historical? Yes. So we need to deal with it. And we need to take care of it and do it right. Do right by it. And that's the point. So let's listen. I'm going to listen to this guy again and see what else he had to say real quick. Let's let this guy that you see up there sitting there, you know, another one of them on the media that wants to support white supremacy and white privilege. That's the word I couldn't get out. White privilege. Okay, you are a child of those ancestors that did the evil and the slavery. And he's talking about, this happened hundreds of years ago. But your privilege of your living, your entitlement is clearly continuing on. And when it comes to economical position or on an economical scale of things, who is at the bottom of the totem pole and who is at the top? The European descended man and woman, when it comes to their wealth and their level of their wealth, is higher than any other race on this earth. Always, and it has been, and still is. As the majority of them, when it compares to the majority of non-Europeans, as far as their nationality of race, where they come from. Especially Africans and African diaspora, Africans in America, Africans in the Caribbean, Africans, which even they're predominant over in the Caribbean. and other African descendancies of diasporans all over the world. Their level of their income or their level of their wealth is not in the majority high as the European. And that's because of what they established from the times of their ancestors that they're saying. Or what happened hundreds of years ago that was done, and you're reaping the benefits today. That's why reparations is clear, to balance that scale. So that's the agenda, my sir, whatever your name is. And he needs to get that straight. But let's listen to what he's saying.
I'm sure it's happening in England. It's certainly happening here in the United States, creating all of this hate for no reason whatsoever. And it's so dangerous. And it's so nice to see people realizing it, no matter what your
Wow. I want to just leave off on that. And everybody take it and listen to what he just said. This guy needs to be held accountable too at Newsmax. We need to voice it and viral this out. Go viral on him. That just what he heard, what you heard him say. Let me run it back a little bit. Let me run it back. Let's see.
And it's so dangerous, and it's so nice to see people.
Oh no, not that.
I'm sure it's happening in England. It's certainly happening here in the United States, creating all of this hate for no reason whatsoever. And it's so dangerous, and
all this hate for no reason whatsoever. So he's saying people seeking out justice is hate. So you want to see how they flip it? They try to do that all the time. This is the tactics. Because he said, because people are saying that are striving and fighting, especially us people, African Americans in America and African British in Britain, in UK, right? Those are the two main diasporan countries that we hear about more on the subject matter of the reparations and so forth, and slavery and like this, right? And the likes of this. He's saying that the people who are saying this is preaching hate. That's what he's just saying. All this hate for nothing. So it's hate. It's not we asking for justice. We're asking for accountability. It's not that. This is what this guy, he needs to be taken into account for what he's saying. See, you got to be careful when you speak, because that thing gets recorded and it's going to go back and people going to go on it, like myself. So you're caught out there, bro. That's all I can say. So anyway, I'm going to leave off on that. I just wanted to touch back base on a little bit of pieces, and we're finished with this. There ain't going to be any more going on this unless somebody else does it, or so forth. But I just wanted to finish and complete, because it was some things I couldn't complete in the other video. It was going too long. I don't want to make this video even too long. But I appreciate you guys listening. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed with me. Stay with me. I got more information. I'm going to do something on the movie once I watch the movie about, again, her name was Viola something. I couldn't get her last name still. But the movie was called The Woman King. I think that's what it was. So those of you who watched it, you know what I'm talking about and seen the trailer. I'm going to try to get into speaking on that. I hadn't spoken on too much on the Queen and the inauguration of, because I really don't care. It's not important to me. I'm about progress. I don't want to be dealing with all that foolishness and stuff like that. And the person passed, let her be in her grave, and Allah, the Creator, has what is going to be in store for all of us when the day comes, her included. So that's all I can say. All right. So thank you very much. And until next time, for more videos, like I said, stay tuned. All right. Peace and blessings. Keep up the lessons. Your brother Taalib from the Brother Taalib Show. I'm out.